Hi everyone, this is Rihole Bitata from Steam Power, and we continue celebrating the contribution of women to the world of STEM, and in particular Black women. Today we have a fantastic professional dancer. Her name is Lauren. I would like to welcome Lauren. Welcome to the celebration.
Thank you so much. Excited.
All right, excellent, excellent. I'm excited too because we know each other. I've seen you dance, and I know that you are very artistic. Yeah, I've seen you there. So I would like, because people don't know about you, if you can share something about you.
Yeah, so I am a specialist dance teacher. I've been dancing since I started late, late according to the industry standards. I started at around 13, 14 years old. And I started, traditional ballet, jazz and tap. And then I continued to do it and decided that I wanted to pursue it for my undergraduate. So I did that alongside with politics, which was very controversial at the time, dance and politics. But yes, I'm just like that. I like to do things outside of the box. And then I just led on to go and do my PGCE in dance education. And now I'm working and teaching dance abroad in the USA, teaching dance to year 7 to year 9, but it's actually across the whole school. It's all across the year's school. So they're trying to really broaden it out. So that's my background. Is I'm a professional dance teacher. Love it dearly. Don't like the paperwork, but we'll talk about that another time.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that is fantastic, and I'm sure that your students must enjoy every second of your lesson. When I was growing up, actually, we didn't have dance lessons. The only dance lesson, believe it or not, it was when I went to unit, and it was not really a dance lesson. It was like a drama unit where we had to actually to pretend. So we had to do these tableaus and things. So that was the closest thing to art that I got to. And then when I started teaching myself, then I had to teach dance routines. But what I did, I'm not sure if this is allowed, but what I did, I went to YouTube, found a tutorial, learn it with the children, and let's go, children. 1, 2, 3, pause. Let's do that again. Rewind. And that's how I know it's bad, but what inspired
so many primary school teachers do that. Hey, thank goodness for YouTube.
Yeah. And the children loved it, the parents loved it because we did an assembly on that, and hey ho, done. But what inspired you to become a dancer?
Oh wow. So my mother actually was a professional dancer. She trained, I think it was part-time through Laban, which is now Trinity Laban. And I was just inspired by her. So I didn't take hold of it really though until I was much older, like I said, but she was my first inspiration. I saw her teaching a class and I just thought she was like a swan.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that she could dance until I came with her to that class. And I mustn't have been, more than 5 or 6, but she just looked like she was about to fly into the air. And so I would definitely say my mum is an inspiration to why I chose to be a dance teacher. Mm-hmm. And then I actually have to say, hands on my heart, the other reason was that I was blessed and fortunate to have so many Black teachers in my life. Mm-hmm. I was raised in both the UK and the USA. So when we got to the States, I had, a history teacher who was Black, an amazing Black woman, for both year 8 and year 9. And they just, to me, were just like, knew everything. Mm-hmm. I just loved them. And then my English teacher was also Black. So I've been very fortunate to have role models who looked like me. Mm-hmm. And when I looked at them and thought, this is something that I could do because there's not enough of us. Mm-hmm. There's not enough representation. And I wanted to be able to be that for my students like they were for me. So I definitely say my mother and teachers that I've had throughout the years who have inspired me all the way through postgraduate as well.
What do you think are the attitudes towards women in the dance industry? And also in the community, because I know there's the perspective from within the industry, and then you have people that look from the outside to the industry and the communities, like probably they look up, because I was remember the late Cecile Tyson.
Yes,
She said
yeah,
that she had to be, in order to become an actress, she had to actually cut ties with her own mother.
yeah.
That's
And
sad.
I'm grateful that I couldn't relate in that sense, because my mother's just so open-minded. You know, I was really fortunate with her. She just, you know, said, whatever you want to do, just soar and go for it. But I definitely found within my community, it was a bit like, oh, you want to do that, do you? And I know it's simply because in our community, it's seen as you want to have a stable job, something that is going to keep you. By stable, they mean 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a waitress. That's, you know, stereotypical things when it comes to performing arts and dance and things like that. And so for me, I wanted to do dance and then to teach, it was a bit like, oh, so you can do that. Oh, so they have an actual degree on dance education. Like this was new to them. So it was coming out of the box and educating those around me of what there is and what the possibilities are. So I definitely say it was a challenge, but not from my immediate family. They were very, very supportive. And I can't remember the last question. What was it again?
It was to do with the community. How does the community perceive dance as a profession? What's your opinion on that?
Because of the way the culture has changed. And so you now have, you know, you've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, you've got whole dance shows, content on the TV, you've got dramas that are based on dance. It's changed so much. I mean, before I was born, or would I say just as I was, you know, a baby, there would be Fame. That's it. That's
yeah,
it.
I remember. I loved it. I loved Fame. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that was
and
it.
That put dance on the map, because it was no longer just seen as, oh, this, you know, artsy thing. I can't stand it when people say that, artsy thing. But they saw that it takes such hard work and dedication, and not everyone is able to do that. And so I think that the media has really helped to broaden people's understanding of what dance is and what it can do for us as a community and as a people.
That's great. So do you think the schools are doing enough?
I think that schools can always do more. There's always room for growth. So I would definitely say that, you know, I'm new to teaching in the USA, so I'm still, you know, this is my first year of teaching the US national curriculum in dance. So I think that I still have a lot to learn and understand of how it operates. But I will say that the dance education in the UK, I think, is absolutely superb. I think that the way that they have trickled it down all the way to primary school and have like these building blocks that go all through to if you want to progress to university, I think that it's amazing. And I was really fortunate to have mentors and tutors at university who created it. So I could see firsthand of where they wanted it to be by the end result. And I think that, you know, most dance teachers' mission is to get dance in every single school, you know, to make sure that everyone has that opportunity. And I think that the English education system is trying hard to ensure that it is available to everyone. And also, I'm really grateful that here they're actually making it compulsory in all schools from next year. So, you know, whether they want to or not, they need to give it to children to have that accessibility.
So what are the career prospects then in terms of like dance?
Something I wish people had told me when I was growing up, because my careers advisor was just like, oh, you want to be a dancer or something? And she gave me this crazy, you know, you go to careers advice. She gave me this crazy thing of working in a record store. That was the closest she could come up with. I know, crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So as a teacher, I know, and I share it with my kids of the different professions you can go into. There's so many. So obviously you've got, you know, the standard one is professional dancer. You want to decide to go into theatre.
To dance with Janet Jackson.
Stage, you know, that's pop culture dance. Yes, you can go down that route. Or you could go theatre direction, you know, maybe you want to go on to Hamilton, you know, so there's so many opportunities in there. Then you've obviously got the teaching profession, which is not just in schools, but you've got at an A-level standard, and then you've got university standard. We need so many more doctors in the field of dance to educate the next generation. And then we also have people who work within the industry. So you've got conservatoires. You've got people who deal with the education department when it comes to dance, how they do outreach programs. You could definitely get involved like that as well. So many admin areas that are to do with dance that are so valuable and are so necessary. Finance, important when it comes to performing arts and dance. Knowing how to get funding. Those are other professions you can go into when it comes to performing arts. Arts Council are really good. They have amazing job lists as well. Or you could decide you want to be a freelancer. You want to, you know, work for yourself, choose your own times. You then create your own curriculum, and you're a teacher essentially, but you work for yourself. Oh my God, Rahole, the list is endless. There's dance on film. You could decide you want to be a choreographer. You could decide that there's just so many.
I think it's beautiful, and that you have educated me on that, because I was pretty much into I'm a dancer for a famous person. That's how, but it's good to know, and I hope that people that are actually, when they listen to this, actually understand that this is it's a spectrum of possibilities. And I like that, because that's what we need. You don't want to be funneled into things that are going to lock you and leave you with very little choices. So on finalizing, and Jean, a little bit of the subject, what are you reading, and what would you recommend anyone that wants to go into the arts?
I'm actually reading Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, who was suggested to me by one of my mentors, my coaches. And Daring Greatly by Brene Brown, she's the author of not Lean In, Lead. Oh, I've forgotten the name of it now. Brene Brown, anyway. Brene Brown is the author, and she is talking about what our insecurities really, and how we express ourselves, and not living up to everybody else's expectations of us, but actually meeting us where we need to be. And looking at, it's a really hard book for me to read actually, because she talks about so many things that I am. So trying to control situations. Dance teachers, we like everything to be very precise, very organized, and that's not always possible. We can't always control everything that happens around us. So she, in her book, she really talks about how to deal with that and be okay with messiness in our life. It's okay. That doesn't mean that we're failing. So Brene Brown, Daring Greatly is the book that I'm reading right now. I think personal development is really important, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now, is taking time out to look after yourself, or so you will go crazy. You really will. And making sure you have that time of silence and peace, because, you know, especially as educators, we are always on the go. Always. Like, we get up and we're already thinking 10 steps ahead of what's going to happen in the day. And we have to have a moment of stillness, or we will not have perspective for the rest of the day. So I think those two things are really important.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I think that it's been brilliant. You guys listening, you need to take action. You know, dance is an art, and I decided to invite Lauren because I know that there's artistry to everything that we do. When you look at that advert of Apple, there's music in the background. You might see people dancing. You might see people, you know, it's so intricate. So that's why I wanted to bring it in as well, because the arts are important, and there's creativity and everything that we do. So thank you very much for listening, and I'll see you all at the next episode.